Sean Hall from YouTube is asking for you to say 3 nice things about Lisa.
No.
Everybody go. 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 Look who is on time today. As you guys know, I am speaking to Bianca Golden, who happens to be... Is she my number one? Is Bianca my number one contestant of all time? Like my number one contestant of all time? I'm just trying to be fair to the girls before I give her all the things, before I give her like all the things. Okay. Yes, Bianca is. Bianca is my number one ANTM contestant of all time. And because, the only reason I say that is because she is the only one who ever made me cry when watching the show. And I'm talking to her today. Now, normally when I do everything and I do these talks, I binge watch, the show to come up with questions. But as soon as I posted her photo and told you guys that her and I will be chatting today, y'all basically outlined my entire interview. So I'm going to be using your questions. I'm going to be giving you guys shout outs as we talk to Miss Bianca Golden, who is here. Where's she at? I freak the fuck out.
Hi, I'm eating. Hi.
Girl, what you eating?
I just finished this jumbo pack. It still got sugar in it, so I can't like.
Bianca Golden, everybody!
Hi, baby. How are you?
How are you? Bianca, you gonna follow me back? Don't be one of those girls.
I follow you.
Don't be one of those girls.
I do.
Our girls, let me tell y'all something. When Miss Oliver blows up, like Miss J said, because she is a prophetess, I ain't following none of y'all girls. I'm like, who?
Don't do me like that.
Listen, Bianca,
How are you?
I thank you so much for agreeing to do this with me.
Absolutely. I'm excited to be here.
Yes. Is it okay if I curse?
Please.
Okay.
It's okay if I curse.
Yes. Awesome. Listen, as I said earlier, you are probably I'm going to go ahead and say you are my number one contestant. I was debating between you and Danielle from season 6. And the only reason why I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and give Bianca my number one because I just enjoyed, and we're talking about Cycle 9, even though I will ask you about Cycle 17. But in Cycle 9, I just really enjoyed the arc that you got when you were on the show, like when you first came in, and then with all the drama, and then it was like you just metamorphosized into this beautiful woman before our eyes who was so dedicated and determined. And a lot of times when the girls are going through the list talking about the girls who are doing it, they say the Fatimas, they say the Molly Sues, but it's like, no, man, Miss Bianca Golden was out here in these streets working for a very, very long time, and just being a young girl. Yes, I do use she pronouns in regards to myself. Girl, it was so inspiring seeing you on Top Model and just how you took what was given to you and just made it a thing. And for that, I am so grateful, thanking you on behalf of so many other girls and boys who have been inspired by your story. And just you being you, giving us so much hope. And, it's, girl, I'm about to cry. It's just like, watching you on the show and even just binge watching yesterday and today, I was like, Bianca was a girl from New York who said, bitch, I want to model. Yes, I'm a little around the edges, but I'm going to do it. So, yeah.
I love that. That was like my favorite intro ever. That would be the intro to my mixtape if I had one. But I completely appreciate it. When the girls ask me who my favorite contestant is, I typically gear towards Bree And then Danny, I mean, I'm Issa. I root for everybody black. So before it was a hashtag and before it was trendy, because, you know, representation matters. So those are my girls. But yeah, it's hard talking about Cycle 9 because my memory is like shot from all of the years, but I'm going to do my best to try to answer the questions.
Awesome. Can everyone hear Miss Bianca Golden? Can you guys hear her?
I hope so.
I just want to hear you because you're giving us like a very much so Girl 6 voice right now.
Sorry. I can talk a little louder.
It's okay. So like I said, normally I've binge watch each episode and then I craft questions as I'm watching it, but I really didn't have to do any of that because like I said, as soon as I posted your photo, everybody just flooded me with about you. So
okay,
if you're ready.
I can't watch the show though. Like I cringe. I cringe.
What'd you say?
Watching it. I literally cringe watching it. So can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm ready.
Okay. So Mark Jennings says, spill the tea we did not see on the show from Victoria's elimination. And just to give it a little bit of context, Victoria was eliminated third on the whole floral photo shoot. And leading up to her elimination, we already knew she came from like an Ivy League background. And she kind of had like these like prickly, as the show described it, encounters with the judges, specifically Twiggy.
Yeah.
Like she was like very snappy. And so she eventually went home. But the Reddit girls say that there was more said from Miss Victoria's mouth when she got eliminated. What do you remember from that moment?
So, oh my God, this is so funny. Victoria was so incredibly intelligent and one of the sweetest people I've ever met. She has such a terrible edit. They tried to make her something that she wasn't. What you did not see was we came across production notes. And again, I don't remember much because it was so long ago. But I remember we came across production notes and they had outlined who she was like as a character. And so they said that they painted her to be like the know-it-all because she was too smart for her own good. And she was so offended by that because she never used she never weaponized her intelligence. Anytime that it came up that she went to an Ivy League, it was someone else mentioning it. It never came from her mouth. So she just felt like that was unfair for them to paint her that way. And then thereafter, she reacted how she reacted. And I don't think she was wrong for that at all. She was offended and she reacted. So that's what happened.
What did she say that we did not see when she got eliminated?
It wasn't so much what she said. I think she corrected them. She read them for filth. And I thought it was so funny that she took her shoes off, but they took her shoes off. And I remember security closing in, but it wasn't like she was going to throw her shoes. It was like, I'm going back to who I am, who I know myself to be. And I'm not going to allow anyone to define that for me anymore. And this is not who I am. She was a Converse girl. Mm-hmm. Took her shoes off, but I remember the security like closing in and Tyra looking at them like, get her.
For real?
Yeah, that was quite funny. Yeah. But she wasn't wrong at all.
Yikes. Okay, thank you for that. Now, Bonnie TSC, excuse me if I'm pronouncing this wrong, is asking why did everyone, I guess I'm tired of this question, but I'm going to ask it. Why did bully Heather knowing she had a handicap and you, Miss Bianca, were the ringleader?
Okay, here we go.
So many times.
I said Jay's interview was the last one I was going to talk about top model, but this is really the last time I'm going to talk about top model.
Yes, I'm special.
You are. But I did not believe this girl at all. Heather and I were actually super, super close. I remember no one wanted to like share a bed with her when we went overseas, and I was like, "You can stay with me. You can share my bed." If anything, I never wanted anyone to bully her. So I would always be like, stand up for yourself. Like, stop letting them talk to you crazy, or don't let this define you. I remember saying that I have family members who have been diagnosed with ADHD. And so to me, I don't treat them any differently, and I'm not going to treat you any differently. And that was me treating her like normal, not bullying her. But of course, it came off as if I was. And because of where I'm from, how I talk, and just who I am as a person, I don't apologize for how I carry myself or how I talk to someone. So someone else might say it in a really sweet manner, and I'm like, no, girl, stop. Sit up straight. Don't be a victim. Defend yourself. And that's just who I am. But like I said to Jay, when we're watching these reality shows, we're not considering the background of the characters. Mm-hmm. We're just taking it for what it is. But you don't know who I am, where I come from, why I talk the way I talk, why I move the way I move, because no one cares about that stuff. You know what I mean?
Bianca, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Of course. Who's your favorite female rapper?
It used to be Nikki. I love all the girls from New York, because I'm from New York. So I guess the Nikki, the Cardis. Yeah.
I just New York accent, and I would love to hear you rap 4 bars of your favorite song.
No.
Okay. I tried. Listen. So I think this is a great question from Becca Wolowitz, who's asking, what is something that happened during the show that definitely misrepresented your character once it aired on television?
I don't know if I was ever misrepresented. I was myself. I'm myself. I'm loud. I could be abrasive, but I always say it comes from love, and I'm so passionate that it can come off. It can be taken wrong and out of context. You gotta be around me. You gotta take the time to get to know me before you judge me. But we don't really have that time, or the luxury in reality television, right? So, and again, I'm not for insecure people, because I'm so confident in who I am and what I stand for, that I'm just me. So I know what I like. I know who I don't like, and that's that. And no, there are moments I recall, I remember walking in the Cycle 17 house and being like, yeah, Lisa's not for me. And it was nothing she said or did to me. I was just very aware that this girl and I are not going to click. And I'm good at that. I have that ability to just be like, that person's not for me. Other people will take the time and be like, let me give this person a try. I don't have to do that. I am well aware of who I am, what I like, what I'm attracted to. And you might not be it, but that doesn't make you a bad person. It just means you're not for me.
That is so mature. And you know what? A lot of times people, especially in the reality TV realm, they think either we're friends or we're enemies. No, girl, we don't have to be, just because we're not friends doesn't mean we have to be enemies. We just not meant for each other.
And that's okay.
And that's okay.
I have a very small circle. And all of my friends are so similar. They're the people that you have to really take the time to get to know, to love. And I love that. I've invested in them. They've invested in me. I don't have energy to invest in people that I know it's not going to work out anyway.
Right.
Life would be so much more simple if we just take the time to figure out what we like, what we don't like, and stay away from what we don't like.
That your attitude right there. I don't know if you watch Drag Race, but on season 4, Latrice during their presidential debate looked at O'Hara, and just to sum it up, she was like, they asked her, Latrice, when have you ever been okay with something? It was something like that. She was like, I just looked at Fifi O'Hara and realized she was ugly. I'm okay with that. So I thought this was a great, great, great question. Not top model related, but related to you. Remember that whole Nikki Blonsky situation that happened?
How can I forget?
He wants to know, have you ever had any compensation from the Blonsky family for the airport incident, and did your mom ever recover? So please, give us a little bit backstory and then go ahead with the response.
Oh God. I thought I hated the Heather question, but I probably hate this one more. It's a good question though. Mm-hmm. My family is from Turks and Caicos. We were in Turks and Caicos for my grandfather's birthday, I believe. And in the way back, commuting back, we were in the airport, and something occurred between my family and the young lady, Nikki Blonsky's family. Had no idea who she was. To me, she was just a girl. I don't know. But she had exchanged some words with my younger brother that I did not like, and something transpired. Her father attacked my mother, and my mother had to be airlifted off of the island to receive better medical care. Thereafter, I've never spoken to this girl to this day. I didn't speak to her then, really. I've never spoken to her. There was never any conversation exchange. I really just wanted the situation to go away because it was so messy, and really traumatic. But my mom is great. She had a 100% recovery. She's great, as if it never happened.
Awesome.
It came up again recently because of some they tried to tie it to like the Black Lives Matter movement. I was trying to keep up because people were tagging me in it and saying she was a racist. No comment. But yeah, everything's resurfacing.
Yeah, and we're okay with that. All right, moving on. So Young Rich, y'all in these YouTube names, y'all gotta do better.
I'm here for it.
It's the youngrichskinny.org. I love it. They're asking a question that a lot of people are asking.
Okay.
Was Celicia a favorite from the beginning? And a lot of questions are saying, does Bianca believe that Celicia was picked from the beginning to win? Now, after you answer, I'm going to spill a little bit of tea that I got, and it wasn't from Mr. J. It was from someone who it's from someone extremely credible.
Okay.
Go ahead first.
I wish you would go first.
No, you go first. I want to hear what you say first.
Let me preface this by saying I love Sal. Like, Sal is great, and God is so amazing. What's for you is for you, and obviously it was for her. Period. My next point is that I think all of the winners are chosen ahead of time, and it's because of I think they just have certain things that they have to check off. They need to be wholesome. They need to hit this look. This person has to approve. It's a business at the end of the day. So yes, I think that Sal was the chosen winner for that cycle, but she also had amazing experience prior to the show. Pretty girl, and she's doing well.
Yeah, I like watching the show from the very beginning. Just in her presentation from Celicia, I could tell that she was going to go really far, and then as the show was going, I could tell that she's going to win because her winning just made sense. Like, she deserved it. However, I know some talk about Mr. J did not tell me this. I don't want nobody fucking with him. Don't bother him because he didn't tell me this.
Okay.
And if he did, I would still lie and say he didn't tell me this. But he didn't for real. Someone who worked on production told me.
Okay.
I'm not going to say their name.
Okay.
Celicia was not Tyra's pick to win.
Who is her pick? Ebony.
Referring to the final two.
Oh, Chantel was amazing.
Yeah, they told me that that Celicia wasn't, that Tyra didn't want her to win.
Yeah. So Chantel's real name is Heather. Her name is Heather Chantel something. And we changed it. Well, I had some involvement. But she changed it for the show. Chantel in person?
Striking.
What? Unbelievable. And she was one of those girls who ate, breathed, and lived modeling. Like, she wanted it so badly. And honestly, she deserved it. But it was a Black girl season. Let's not forget, it was a Black girl season because a Black girl had not won for some time, and so it was a Black girl season. Has she auditioned and tried out for the season prior or after? She might have won, but that season was a Black girl season. And if she would have done her homework, there's no shade to Chantel, but if anyone would have done their homework and been a stand for top model like myself, you would have known. Well, once it came down to Ebony and Ivory, Ebony was taking it home.
Ebony was gonna take it home, girl. Oh, that's so bad. Okay, I'm going through some of these questions. A lot of questions about Ebony Morgan.
Yes.
And her experience on the show. Now, as a child, I'm sorry. I'm prefacing that. I'm sorry. Now, when I was watching Top Model, I was like in elementary school, middle. when this season was on the air.
Oh, funny.
I graduated college about 3 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
But I remember not liking Ebony.
Oh, yeah.
How it was presented. However, when I just rewatched it, and then when I read some of her interviews, and of course I'm in reality TV, so I know how certain things work.
Yeah.
I was like, they did that girl they did her bad.
Yeah.
You being there, what can you tell us about that?
Ebony was the same thing we said for Chantal was Ebony. But Ebony looked like Naomi Campbell. Like when we were auditioning and she walked through the cruise ship, everybody was like, oh, she's the winner. Like stunning, striking, brown, even skin straight through, Model S, just, and her poise. She was amazing. Ebony had been through some things. I mean, we all been through some things, but like everyone handles it differently. She missed her family. Like she was big on family, and she was just like, maybe this isn't for me. Mm-hmm. And she had expressed that a few times to producers, but I think people just kind of like pacified her and was like, look, you got to stay. This could be for you, which is why I also thought she was going to possibly win. They could have been top two. I don't know. But she just wanted to go home, and she was like, I want to be a nurse. Mm-hmm. She was a bad girl. People change their minds all the time. Tyra was frustrated, and I got her side of it too, because this could have been a spot for somebody else who really wanted it and could have seen it through. And you messing up my show, girl. So I got it, but she didn't deserve a bad edit. I don't know if she really got a bad edit as much as it was just like, you're a throwaway. And she was so much more than that.
Let me ask you this. I just read something this morning, actually, where it was a paraphrase of allegedly some interview she had where she said they made her re-edit her leaving. Is that true? Like they not re-edit, reshoot her like leaving.
Maybe. I don't know, because we're stashed away while they're doing the exit scenes. So no one sees anyone else's exit unless you're leaving with them.
I'm referring to Impanel.
Oh, I don't remember. I do not. I felt like Tyra was like, all right, goodbye. Like, because she didn't want to have another Tiffany moment where it's like, we're rooting for you. I think she learned from that and was like, if they want to go, they want to go. So she kind of just like dismissed her. She might have had to do a walk off again, because I think she really did just dismiss her, but we weren't there for that. They might have made it seem as though we were standing on the side, but we weren't there. I don't recall that. Yeah.
Gotcha. This question just popped up out of the list as I'm scrolling. This is jumping to cycle 17. Okay. Because, oh crap, you know what? I just saw Lisa and thought it was cycle 17 and forgot Lisa Jackson was in the house as well. Yes. So in the beginning, it seemed as if there was a lot of like conflict between you and Lisa. And the way it seemed, it appeared as if it was coming from you, and you were very judgmental about, like, you know, her past, what she came from. What about that was true, and what are your feelings? What were your feelings about it?
I don't care what anybody does. I don't judge. I don't have any room to judge. But I feel like I said what I said because I meant it. Like, I'm not a liar. America's Next Top Model won't be a stripper and hasn't been a stripper. And I mean that to this day. Now, my delivery is always something that I need to work on. We were beefing. I don't remember what we were fighting over. The girls didn't like me. I was very New York, very aggressive. They didn't like me, and I felt boxed in. And what happens when you box and you come out swinging? And so for me, I've always been of the mindset, especially when I was younger, maybe not so much now, that nothing's off limits when you're fighting. And even better, I could just tell you the truth and it'll hurt you just as much. And I think that's why it was such a big statement. Like, America's Next Top Model is not going to be a stripper, because everyone knows that to be true. And it was no shade to Lisa. She's actually one of my favorite people. We signed to God, it's so funny. We signed to the same agency. We lived in South Africa together.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's my girl, and she's doing really well. And I never apologized for that. I should have apologized. I am sorry about that, because even though it was my truth at the time, it doesn't mean that I should have hurt her with my words like that. And I'm sure that hurt because nobody just openly wants to be a stripper just to be a stripper. And she had gone through some things to get her to that place. So, but you know, when you're 18 and you feel like fighting, we gonna fight, girl. What's up?
You are so funny.
Thank God for growth.
Another question the girls are asking is Marvita was actually a well, I don't know if they would consider her a semi-finalist, but she was a finalist before like you get into the house.
What's her name?
Marvita. She didn't make it.
I remember Marvita.
What do you remember about Marvita during the audition process, and what did you think about when she made it into the house for Cycle 10?
Oh my God. Marvita had like a mohawk, right? Or something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. So Marvita was super cool. I think I was with her a lot. Like I clicked up with people and I think we were together. She just had a lot of personality. I think she was a bit aggressive too. I can't remember but so much. It was two girls. It was her and another girl. And I think the girl's name was like Spontaneous or something like that. I was with them a lot when we were on. Is that her name? Was that her name?
Spontaneous.
Yes, I was with them. I clicked up with them on the cruise, right? And we just gravitated towards one another, but they didn't make it for one reason or another. I think they thought Spontaneous was too ghetto and Marvita was too rough.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all I remember is that she was super cool.
Mm-hmm.
She ended up making it on the show, didn't she?
Cycle 10. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Came back.
How did she do?
So,
did she do well?
She started off really strong, and then I think she kind of had the same effect that like the same experience that girl from your season, Ambrielle, had, where like after a while they just got kind of like shaky, and when other girls were progressing and improving, and you kind of started off strong, and she went.
That's a great comparison, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Ooh. You participated in Modelville on the Tyra Banks show.
Yes, wow.
Uh-huh. Oh, yes, girl. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
You participated in Modelville on the Tyra Banks show. And I believe like the package was like a Carol's Daughter contract or something of that nature. And if my memory serves me right, Dominique won. Mm-hmm. And Renee had a meltdown.
Yeah.
And like this pity party thing where they were like, oh, well, we'll give you something to do. What were your thoughts about that experience in that moment? Because I didn't think that was fair. I didn't think that was fair.
Yeah.
You lost. Like.
Yeah. And I was also surprised that like, did you really think you were going to Carol's Daughter? Like, ain't it for the, okay. So anyway, I always was of the mindset that Carol's Daughter was for, like the 4C type of hair. Or like, anyway, right. And I got to know Renee a little bit better around that time. Mm-hmm. And she was really going through some things. I mean, we later found out, right? Because she went to jail. I don't know if she's still in jail for robbing. She's not. Oh, it was, I don't know. No shade. Like, she was really going through some things. And so she might have really needed that money. I think she was extremely nasty to me thereafter. I don't recall. But she might have really needed that money at the time, which is why she had the reaction that she had, because that's not normal, right? And so if we really take the time to go deeper into it and we see somebody doing something really outrageous like that and on national television, we have to think like something else is playing here. Something else that we can't see is going on. And so I think that she might have had her back against the wall. I could be so wrong here, and excuse me for speaking out of turn, but I think she said that they were like living in their car or something like that. So she really needed that money, and she probably just did not feel Dominique was deserving of it. I'm not gonna really say too much on that because I don't care too much for Dominique as a person, but what's for you is for you, and that was for her.
Miss Bianca, I know that you are a teacher now.
Yes.
But if you ever wanted to segue into a career of like commentary, I really think you should consider it because it's just how you say it. That was funny. I'm sorry.
You gotta say what you mean and mean what you say. But
I wasn't like going to jail or being on the beach or nothing like that. I was cackling just on how Miss Bianca. All right.
I'm working on my delivery. How am I doing, Oliver?
Don't work on it.
Don't.
Don't.
I'm working on it. I have to.
Yes. Okay, so Official Barrington, and this is off Instagram, is asking in All Stars. She said, Miss Bianca, her and Camille had a long history. That's why she didn't speak to her when she first got into the house. Talk to us about the Camille moment. And just so the people know, I try to surprise y'all, but I said calling our girls out. I am trying to get Miss Camille McDonald for my Cycle 2 interview.
I can set it up.
Any girls that know Miss Camille, let her know that the nerd is for her, and I need her to answer her.
I got you. I'm gonna tell her. Camille and I had such a complicated relationship, and I think it was meant to be like big sister, little sister, except I felt I didn't really trust Camille for a really long time, and it was nothing that she did to me. She never did anything wrong to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I just know a few Camille's, or I've had a few experiences with Camille's in my life. And she and I are both West Indian and come from similar backgrounds.
Right.
And so I just felt like I said, like I know who I like, who I gravitate towards. And I did like Camille a lot. She was actually one of my favorites from Cycle 2 for Everybody Black. But we just had a complicated relationship. And so when I saw her in the house, I was just kind of like, I could take it or leave it. But she's doing really well now. And she's a mommy and she's got her own business and super proud of her.
Good. I'm happy. Yeah. That's dope. Sean Holland from YouTube is asking for you to say 3 nice things about Lisa.
No. Why would you do that? I don't have anything nice to say about Lisa. And it's not because I have anything mean to say about Lisa. She's just not my type of person. We don't stand for the same types of things. I know that she has a lot of trauma that affects the way that she reacts to people and experiences, but she is not the type of person that I want. What really put the nail in the coffin was her Black Lives Matter crusade that she went on, that I'm just so disgusted by, and I'm gonna leave it at that. She's not for me, and I don't have anything nice to say.
And we're okay with that.
Yep.
Segue our next question from Sean Holland, who's also asking you, what do you think about Black Lives Matter, Black Models Matter, George Floyd, and Breonna Taylor?
I have a lot to say. So the last time I cried over a situation about about a Black person being killed unjustly was Trayvon Martin. That cut me to my core. I was actually with one of my friends at the time who was a producer on Top Model, and she's Black. Her partner at the time was white. And we got the verdict delivered while we were together. And I was just like, I don't want to be around any white person right now. And so I say that to say this recent time when the Breonna Taylor verdict was delivered, I was crying. And it's funny because I was on Zoom with my kids. And I was just so like, how could this be? How could this be the world that we live in? And yet also knowing that this is the world that we live in. And I knew this is what was going to happen. I'm not a person of protesting. I appreciate people who do protest. And I know people are angry and they want to do something. I'm just disgusted right now. And the only role that I know how to play is to empower my kids to be the change that we want to see. I don't know what else to do in that space. As far as Black Models Matter, I think all the subsets are cool, but like Black lives need to matter first. Black teachers matter, all that. But like, let's just focus on the headline that Black Lives Matter and figuring out a way to make sure that everyone hears us and feels us. And like, even if you don't agree, you got to respect it.
Respect it, yeah.
I'm really just, you know, like, it's sad. It's disgusting. And I've watched, like, Hulu has an amazing piece on Breonna Taylor. I don't know if anyone's seen it. I recommend checking it out. But it's just so tragic to hear, like, the actual 911 call where her boyfriend's, like, crying, like, oh, my God, somebody shot her. Someone, like, she's dead. Like, he sees her, he's like, she's dead. She's dead. And at the hands of police. And the fact that that Black man, the Attorney General, stood up there and delivered the speech at the press conference the way he worded it. I was disgusted, because at the end of the day, you're a Black man first, not an Attorney General, not a man of the law. You are a Black man with that suit, outside of that suit, in front of this podium. You're a Black man, and you don't see that. And I love what Tamika said when she was like, you disrespected your mama. You stood up there and you disrespected your mama by disrespecting this woman and her life. And I mean, we've all seen the memes and hashtags on Instagram that showcase what it is. The only charge he received was for the bullets that missed. We don't care about us. So yeah.
You know, I think people think that, like, I'm trying to word this the right way. Like you said earlier, it's only so much you can do to somebody and backing them in the corner until they react.
Yeah.
There is something seriously wrong with what's going on in the United States when it comes to police reform and how the justice system handles these cases when it involves people of color.
Yes.
And I'm a big nerd, you know, outside of everything that I do creatively and entertainment wise. I'm still one who took school very serious, and I read. And after a while, when the people in power keep fucking with the people that are minorities, eventually something happens. And in our case, I'm not sure what that something will be in the United States, but it's almost kind of scary. Just to share the story, and then we can get back to bubblegum and Pop-Tarts and Top Model. I live in Atlanta, and I actually live downtown in Atlanta. I'm living in my my home for about 3 years now. And when the whole Breonna Taylor thing happened, and there was something else that happened during quarantine that caused mass.
Ahmaud Arbery. We also had that.
Yeah, it couldn't. My brain couldn't catch. But I live downtown, right where they were doing all the rioting, and to look out my door where I normally see the Coca-Cola factory and I see the Ferris wheel, to see an army truck and helicopters and guns, and like, I was like, where am I right now?
Right. We're at war.
I was Bianca, I was so afraid to step outside of my door, and I never would have thought, as a free person in the free country, I would ever be in fear of my life. Yeah. And it's like, in 2020, I'm Black, I'm a Black man, and I'm a gay Black man.
Right. Well, free-ish, right? Free-ish.
Free-ish, yes.
Free-ish. I mean, I think I've been in a space where I think about, like, what does the news coverage say about me if, God forbid, I'm next? Right? I think about those types of things. And I mean, I have the conversation with my best friend where I tell her all the time, and she laughs. At this point, she doesn't laugh anymore because she knows I'm very serious when I say, God forbid, if something like this happens to me, burn this bitch down. Don't ever say that I want it to be peaceful, because I don't. Because we should be outraged.
Yes.
And throw the pets in there too. I love pets, but apparently America loves pets more than they love and value Black bodies. So throw the pets in there so that they can really get outraged. She used to laugh, and I say it all the time.
Kill the dogs.
Kill the dogs. Everybody gets it, because, like, we need to be outraged.
Yeah, we have to.
We need some shit to burn so that people understand that we're serious.
You know what? It just hit me. Excuse me, because I'm about to go on a tire. When the white people felt some sort of way about us, when they felt some sort of way about, excuse me, because I'm height in my brain, did something to that white girl, what they did, they killed them. When our Black community that show is Watchmen is based off of, when it was bothered, they burned it all down.
Absolutely. Because no justice, no peace.
I'm about to be the face of fuck it up, fuck them.
Yeah.
But until if it don't change, I don't know what type of revolution is going to happen, but I feel it coming, and I am like, yeah.
I work in school. I work in a school, and everyone wants to say, this is a movement. This is a movement. It's not a moment. It was a moment, I believe, because even as schools were back to what it was. I always say, like, the emails are no longer signed with solidarity. People are just going back to who they were before and what they knew, and no one's tiptoeing around. It's your job, it's our job to teach our kids stand up for themselves and to fight for their own equality, and to make sure that if you see someone doing something to another Black person, you call them out on it, because I damn sure do.
And you know what? I'm gonna force it to segue back into Top Model. I was thinking about, like, why do the girls that I like from Top Model, why do I like them? Yeah. And I think what you just said, like, they knew who they were, and they were confident in what they believed in, and they stood flat foot in what they believed in. And I think it's so important for us as people, especially as Black people, which, regardless of what Top Model, all the, like, controversies and things that went on the show, what I really appreciate about Top Model is that it gave young Black kids a way to build their identity. You know, like,
absolutely.
Yeah, I'm watching TV and I'm from New York. I see Bianca and how she's herself. I see people like Bree and Danielle and Camille and Robin from season 1.
Yes,
and, stuff like that. Like, I really appreciate Top Model for helping Black girls and boys like myself build their identity, build their confidence, and that's what we need. Like, that's what we need. That's what the youth need.
Absolutely. And shout out to Shivy. I see your comment. Like, you really do got to take the opportunity to just stand up. Like, all you need is that. Like, stand up. Say what you mean and mean what you say. I love that. But that, and I'm almost sure that a lot of the girls that you claim is to be favorites are not by accident Black. You know what I mean? Like, it's ingrained in us. Stand up for who you are. You know what I mean? Stake your claim. That's important. Keep teaching your kids that, especially your little girls. Don't let anyone speak for you. Stand up for yourself.
Now, speaking about Top Model and things I've learned, there are 2 things from Tyra that I learned. Top Model, I remember Cycle 4 when the season was on. She told, I can't think of the girl's name, but it was an Anglo-Saxon girl, and she told her that her lip was thin, and in order to plump your lip, go get a piece of paper towel and just, like, stuff your lip up. And so I did it. And so, like, I told girls that all the time, like, they be like,
work?
I say, yeah, just go put some napkin in it. It'll plump it up naturally. And also, when Tyra was on her talk show and Kamora Simmons was on there, she was like, when me and Kamora would want to have, like, desserts and stuff like that, we would just eat whipped cream because it's low in calorie. And recently, I tried to drop weight, and that was my dessert. I would just eat whipped cream.
No way.
I asked Bianca. I do my own makeup from time to time. Like, and I'm trying to learn how to, like, chisel this out. And I see you have it done really nicely. Help me out right fast. Like, tell me.
I'm laughing because Isis taught me that. Like, it's so funny. Cycle 7.
Girl!
You know, Isis is my boo. That is my girl. Like, she taught me how to do it because I was struggling. And so I didn't have the right brush. So she took my brush, my regular powder brush. She fanned it out. And I wish I had my brush with me. She fanned it out. She made it really flat. And then she used it on the side to just go in. And then she just kind of, like, you got to fan it out and just touch it lightly and, like, create the shape. It's Isis too.
But see, I struggle sometimes because naturally, when I do, like, my line.
Yes, you follow the line.
But see, I don't know if I should be shading, like, down.
No, you have to outline it and then you blend.
Blend, and should I blend it? I should blend it down, right? And not.
You gotta blend down. Blend down.
Because we don't want the blackness in the, yeah.
No, right. You gotta blend down.
Next time you see me,
I'm gonna be looking too.
please
And I'm gonna tell Isaac.
call me
So
out.
funny.
Now the girls say they want us to do a little smizing contest right now.
Okay, I got my lashes on, so
And say I don't got no lashes, I don't got no eyeliner on, so I have to work 10 times as hard.
right.
You ready?
I'm ready. See, when you got lashes on, it already does it for you.
Hold on. Because Tyra said smizing is only
Smile and then take it away.
distance at something that you can't see. So hold on, let me see. I'm gonna.
Oh wait, hold on a second.
Who won, y'all?
I'm about to say, did I win? Hello? I can't hold it because I'll just start busting out laughing, cracking up.
Okay. I'm having so much fun right now with you, Bianca. Are you in New York City?
Say that one time.
You're in New York?
I am. I'm in New York.
Cool. I have to see you when I come up there.
Yes.
Is there any more top model tea, whether from cycle 9 or cycle 17, that you haven't spoken about before that you want to say it now, since this is your last top model interview? Bianca said this is her last one. She didn't answer y'all girls no more. Don't call her phone. So if y'all don't get it now, you never gonna get it. In Vogue.
I don't know if there's anything from cycle 9 or 17 that comes to mind. I'm just really I will say I'm really proud of the girls. Danny posted her Bazaar cover. Yes, isn't it good? Oh, so proud of her. Like, so proud of her. Like, she my mama's daughter. But she her caption was like, 21-year-old me would have celebrated this for another reason. But where I'm at now, like, I celebrate this as a win for like Black girls and for self-esteem and self-care and things like that. And I just thought, yes, go off. Like, that is it. And that's what I celebrate about her. That's what I celebrate about my sister Bree. What I celebrate about Isis. It's the growth that you see in people. Like, a lot of the girls have gone on to become mommies and business women. And I'm just proud of that because it's so easy to get caught up in like drugs and alcohol. And we've seen that too. Or even to get caught in a space where your whole life, even after you came off of your first season, even after you came off of All-Star, it's still wrapped around top model. We know who that is too. So people are just stuck in that moment. And I call it like the Al Bundy moment, where it's like, well, remember that time when I was hot, when I caught that football and made that touchdown? And it's just like, you gotta let that go. There has to be some growth in life. And I'm so proud of the girls who are growing despite their trauma, that are growing despite what people said about them, that are growing despite themselves. That's everything to me.
Yes.
I strive to stay in that bubble, to surround myself with people like that. And I'm proud of Tyra. I feel like she is the embodiment of that. She's the blueprint. Like, I can't stay in one space too long. She could easily stay and just push out top model forever. And she's like, actually, I'm over here. And by the way, you thought I was over here. Now I'm over here. And that's growth. That's life. Right. That's progression. Keep it going. Keep winning.
So I'm happy that you brought up Tyra. What is your was your experience with her? Because Tyra comes under a lot of critique, especially with her being the face of the show, her being a Black woman, comes under a lot of fire for some of her actions in front of the camera and behind the camera. I mean, it's a very good article. Bye. As a fan of the show, I can say that it seems as if Tyra really liked you. I mean, she kept calling you to come work and hearing stuff. What was your experience and relationship with her?
I think Tyra liked me too. I mean,
really?
to be fair, she and I did not have a relationship. I know Allison spoke on the fact that she would like come out and see things for her, but like when I graduated, she sent me like a message and like, I'm proud of you, love you always, things like that. But Tyra, to me, let me back up. Growing up, Tyra is the reason why I wanted to become a model. And like we said before, representation matters, and it's so important because I got to see somebody who kind of sort of looked like me, who had a similar story, who spoke out about her insecurities, and I gravitated towards that, and it gave me some type of like reason to hold on and not allow people to get to me. That was important. So she'll always have a special place in my heart for that. In addition to her giving me an opportunity, and I say her, even though there's a gang of folks like production and all of the casting and all that stuff, it's ultimately her show, her creating this path for us and this opportunity. So I give her credit for that. I'll never disrespect her. It reminds me of the Brandy and Monica verses. Like, there are different types of Black girls. Like, all Black girls don't fall into one bubble. And Tyra is a quirky Black girl. She's not like the Black girls I grew up with, but she's something to aspire to be. Mm-hmm. She's successful. She's confident. She's beautiful and accomplished. And you gotta celebrate that.
Got to.
And I'll never disrespect her. You can't. There's no way around that. I watched is it Potomac Housewives and the new girl Wendy. I'm like, there's no way around celebrating someone's accomplishments, especially when they have that many of them. You can't ignore that. I celebrate her as a Black woman. I celebrate her success, and I'm grateful. I don't have nothing bad to say about her. We're not best friends. We don't talk. I don't even know if she still follows me on Instagram. But somehow, some way, like when there's an accomplishment, she'll send me a text, right? she'll not a text. I'm sorry. She'll send me a DM and just be like, "I'm proud of you. Love you always." Whatever. And I'm almost sure if I really, really, really needed something, I could send her a message. I don't know what that something is, and I'm waiting on it. I can fall in her favor. But
so I was watching Cycle 9 finishing up today, and so the petty meme was like, you know what I just realized? Why all the Black girls besides Ebony had their hair chopped off this season? And I have felt some sort of way, but I was like, why all the Black girls got to be bald head? Tyra, why you do that? Like, I got angry with her, but then I had to take a step back and be like, you know what? Despite this present feeling I'm feeling about her, despite, some of the things she may have honestly done, whether it was intentional or out of mistake, and the things, right, her failures that people talk about, I still have to give this woman credit for providing a show that inspired me, informed me, entertains me. Like, I watched Top Model for creativity, the photo shoots, the people, seeing Black gay men work in a space and be fully accepted, seeing Black girls who look like me, sound like me, come from places like me, don't have money, don't have no rich nothing, but win a competition and go on to do things like you did. Like, I had to celebrate the bitch. Like, yes, ma'am, you doing it, and you still doing it.
Right. Because if not, you'd be a hater.
I ain't no damn hater.
Exactly. You can't ignore what this person has done. And I really do wish people would take the time when they're critiquing her to just, one, put things in context. And understand where she's coming from, because she's talking about that thing with Danny with the Gap and all of that. She's speaking from a space when she was in the industry. These are her experiences. She loves Danny. Let me just say, she would never say nothing to Danny that she didn't truly mean from her heart. I don't believe so. But love and respect and salute to Tyra. I don't really have no problems with none of them. The person that I had the least connection with was Mr. J. Honestly.
Really?
Yes. Me and Mr. J. Me and Mr. J. We did not have a relationship. I didn't really think he cared for me. And okay. But I had a relationship with Miss J. That was and it could be because we speak the same language. He's from the Bronx. He turns it on and off. Like, he plays the game. I'm interested to know what his sign is, but he plays the game, and I love him for that. Like, he's given me some words that I always keep close to my heart, and appreciate him forgetting about the cameras for a second and being like, listen, little Black girl, stop playing with these people. Do your thing and go home.
Right. So, in talking about accomplishments and celebrating people, of course, Bianca Golden had a great modeling career. Please take this time to brag about yourself and some of your accomplishments, the runways, the photo shoots, the magazine cover spreads, endorsements. Tell us.
I will say that God is so good, because I was not a good model. I was not a good model, but I have a hell of a personality,
Mm-hmm.
and I can hustle the hell out of anything, especially myself. But I know some models. Like, there are girls who can model their behinds off, but the difference is that they're not gonna work as hard as I work. They're not gonna grind as hard as I grind, and
But
so they
tell,
miss
like,
out. What was that?
but tell us, like, what type of jobs and what, like, after top model, what were your modeling accomplishments? Girl, you had a lot of them. Like, you were working. You were a working model.
Yes, I signed to major model management following the show. And then I went on, I ended my career with Ford. So I was signed with Ford across the board. And I don't know if Ford was in Africa. I think it was called something else in Africa. But I did a lot of runway shows. I did a lot of commercial work. Now, that was my bread and butter, doing all the Macy's and the Apple, the iTunes shadow. That was actually my favorite because no one knows it's me, but I know it's me, and it's pretty cool.
What is it?
The little iTunes card, the little shadow, like the Apple, buy those things. But it was, the little logo for iTunes.
That's you.
Yes, or one of them. There are a few.
There's a bunch, but one of them are you.
Yes. And yeah, just doing a lot of that stuff. I did a lot of catalog work, Target, Sears, Macy's, a bunch of commercials in the Midwest and things like that. And it was great. I was not a high fashion girl, although my DNA would suggest otherwise. But I really just wasn't a model. It was just my way in.
So, because when I looked up, now, I'm a girl that likes to sneak follow people. So I may not have been pressing the follow button, but if you're someone that I liked or knew about, I'll just be like, what's she doing? And so, and I saw you stand up in a classroom. I was like, wait,
yes.
What happened? So tell us, what made you transition from modeling to teaching?
That is my biggest accomplishment. Realizing that I'm done with modeling, or modeling was done with me rather. I left I left all of my agencies. I was at home trying to figure it out, and I went back to my church and I began my ministry with young girls, and I just loved it. And I was like, I think this is where I'm supposed to be. Went back to school, finished my degrees, and I am an 8th grade ELA teacher, and I love it. Absolutely love it. Being able to connect with kids and teach them what I know, or what I wish someone would have told me. I've met some amazing educators who I'll probably have relationships with for the rest of my life. People calling me.
That's okay.
It just gives me so much purpose in life, and it's not an easy job. It's not easy at all. I cry, I complain, I shout, I get mad, but it keeps me grounded. It makes me work on myself every single day. And nothing's perfect, but I'm really happy where I'm at in life with my career choice.
What is it like when you're in class and your students come in and you're Bianca! You're Bianca! Miss Bianca, what was top model like? What was her like? How do you manage that? Because I know
they don't care anymore. I think initially it was a shock. But and there are times where I talk about it, like recently with our cheerleading team. I was talking about it with them, and they think it's cool. I don't think they care. They just think it's cool. It really bothers me when I post a video or something from work and someone comments or sends me a DM saying, "I'm just so proud of your growth. You used to be like this, but now you're like that." And I know it's intended to be a compliment, but it's just so insulting to me because, one, you don't know me. You didn't know me then. You don't know me now. And two, why did you think I was supposed to stay one way? Have you stayed one way where I was 18, a baby, trying to figure it out, but we're such an unforgiving society that we just condemn people immediately. Oh, you're wrong, you're bad. So hi Ryan. Yeah. But it really is the best part of my life right now. This part of my life is the best part, just being where I'm at.
And so girl, don't curse me out what I'm about to say, but as someone who fell in love with you on Top Model and stayed abreast in your journey and stuff like that, it is so warming to see I won't say change because, like you said, you were 18. Like, of course,
Right.
as you get older and have more experiences, you're going to be a different person. But it is beautiful to see where you are and speak and you know, articulate. Like, girl, like, you know what the little I can say. You don't know what the what the punk inside of me. Because the people I can cuss and I love to use inappropriate words. I'm just gonna say punk. Yes. What the little punk inside, okay. Like, is so happy, just like talking to you and like just all of this is. I know where you are right now is not like. I'm just excited to see what else you're gonna do because you have such like a magnetic thing about you too. Bianca, you that girl. I'm just gonna leave it at that. You that girl. You that girl.
You. And I think that is a better way of framing it, and I take that as like the best compliment ever. Like you said, I can't wait to see what you have next or something, like what you do. Like I think that's awesome. Thank you. I really, really appreciate that.
You're so welcome. Now, I'm not so far on my journey. So Miss Bianca, entertainment, I'm gonna shamelessly plug a reality TV show that I am a part of, that I can say I'm a part of, because it's already out. But it's on YouTube. It's called Chasing Atlanta. Yes. We're back for season 4. I joined season 3. I would love if you went back and watch and tell me your thoughts about the show.
Can I go back watch and then we do this, but like I get to interview you? I would love that. I would love that.
Yes. So yes, it's called Chasing Atlanta. It's the premise of it is it's a think about Housewives, but think about it's in the vein of gay men or people of color in the LGBTQ community who are all chasing something. So you have me, I'm a hip hop artist and a content creator, and I'm chasing my thing. You have people on there who own hair businesses. You have people on there who are personalities who do like BuzzFeed type of stuff. You have people on there who groom dogs, rappers, people who like gay people of color, young gay people of color who own businesses here in Atlanta.
That's awesome.
But of course we fight and we argue and we do all those things. So it's entertaining. We're about to start season 4 in a couple of weeks. Airing it, I should say. But yes, go back and watch.
I love this.
And tell me your thoughts. And I look forward to this interview because I'm curious to see what questions you have for me.
Oh, and I'm very serious. I'm very serious about this.
Mm-hmm. I'll shoot you the link.
Okay. I'm going to look it up.
Listen, everybody. I'm about to go spend a lot of money right now because I am so happy I spoke to you.
That's awesome. I'm so glad we had to do this.
Listen, I don't think people really understand like how much top model really means to me. In young gay, the child, dealing with identity issues, dealing with confidence issues, knowing that what you want to do in life is outside of what people consider normal or accepted, and you don't fully express it. And just, I tell Jay all the time now that we talk.
That's relationships.
This means for a quick second. But I tell him all the time, like, I appreciate that show so much. Like, there's a lot of things that now that I'm a creative that gets hired, that I think back to when I was watching Top Model, how they did stuff or get inspiration from there. And Bianca, you are one of the people that were and still is my favorites from that show just because of how you represented the community. And girl, I love you. I thank you so much for this moment. It means so much to me. I hope to meet you and hug you and squeeze you in person one day.
Yes, I'm always in Atlanta, so I'll definitely hit you up. Well, I haven't been in Atlanta with all the Rona going on, but I'll be out there soon, I'm sure.
Dope. Well, listen, I thank you again so much.
Thank you. This is so awesome. I'm so proud of everything that you're doing, and I'm definitely going to check out this link, and I will be hitting you up like, okay, well, we need an interview.
Yes. Bianca, would you be, never mind, I ain't going to say that. I'll DM you. I ain't going to say it. Watch the show first, and then we'll talk. Okay. Thank you so much.
Bye, boo.
Bye, baby. How the fuck? All right. Well, guys, that made me extremely happy today. And I'm not going to lie. I'll be very vulnerable and tell you guys that I've been experiencing in the last couple of days what I consider probably the worst times and days I've recently experienced. But you know, when a girl's got to work, she got to just, you know, turn it on. And this conversation, this moment, talking to her, and especially where the conversation went, really means a lot to me. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for what the universe is giving me today. And I hope this moment that we shared for you, that we shared with you, you're able to get something out of it. So grateful. Thank you again. Oh, I know what I meant to tell Bianca. Bianca, I want Bree for season 5. Anybody that know Bree from Cycle 5, I'm gonna hit Bianca about that. But like I always say, as I sign off, I was about to sign off. Well, until next time, guys, be sure to pray and Kegel. And yes, I am going live tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to talk about the upcoming season of Chasing Atlanta. Y'all girls been getting on my nerves so much about it, and I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna answer as many questions as I can about the new season. I know y'all are excited about it. I can't wait until y'all see this explosive season. Well, until 9 p.m., be sure to Kegel and pray, because you need both in times of trouble. Come home.